Oh my goodness. You know what? I was going to wait the 5 minutes to start at 2. But I already had 5 people in both YouTube and Twitch start chatting. So, you know, we're not going to waste any time today. Y'all already know what today is. It's Free VOD Friday. Welcome back, everybody. 2 p.m. every Friday this summer. We're going to be trying to do free VODs every summer. Now, before we do start, I do have to thank today's sponsor for the stream, which is Alienware, and also every single stream for the next year at least. This week, we at Alienware, we're focusing on sustainability through content, as well as just being able to travel with Alienware products. I'm going to the beach with my family, not next week, but the week after. And the only way that I'm going to be able to upload videos and also make scripts for videos is because of the Alienware laptop. Their stuff is really good. Pretty sure my laptop is actually stronger than my PC. I just choose not to use it because I don't want to overuse it and kill the battery and be not sustainable. So honestly, their laptops are really good. If you're new and you're like a console player and you really want to get into gaming, honestly, Alienware is probably a really good first step for you because everything with their laptops prepackaged, same with their PCs, everything's prepackaged. They have some pretty good stuff in their store. Go check them out. I don't have a code for you guys yet, but if I do get that in the future, I'll let you guys all know. But all of their stuff, very easy as a college student to be portable on the go. Even play some Overwatch and do some VOD reviews on the go, which I've thought about doing. I just haven't bitten on that yet. But so I appreciate you guys all for coming out to the stream today. Understand that it's sponsored by Alienware. I won't chirp at you guys too much more about the ad. Just understand that Alienware is the reason why I can do this stuff. And also their monitors are really good. I didn't touch up on that because you can't really take the monitors on the go. But this monitor is pretty sweet. Like, I'm not gonna lie, 360 hertz. It's a different world. But I appreciate you guys all for coming out. If you guys have a VOD, just link it in the chat and we'll get right to it. We are also streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. So all my YouTube viewers, you'll probably find that Twitch is a lot easier to watch the streams on. But if you prefer YouTube, go right ahead. I'm just excited to get this started and going on the road here. So whenever you guys are all ready, let's start this up. Also, I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoy the skins. I really enjoy the skins of this battle pass, like genuinely. I mean, I'm also like a high fantasy fan. Like, dude, look at that player banner. Oh. More on player banners though in the next video I'm making about why ranked sucks and how to fix it, because it's pretty bad. I do like the idea of like the mythic skin upgrading. I mean, I like the idea. I don't like the way they went about it though. I feel like there's this problem where it's like they don't want to like they're running out of content ideas for some of this stuff, and they're like bloating up the battle pass in some scenarios. And this is one of those things where it's like we just kind of miss out on like 3 tiers because the mythic skin is upgrading. I feel like you should get the mythic skin at the end, and then there's maybe challenges to upgrade it from there so we get more stuff. But the art team already does so much work as is. Dude, I feel like this could be a mythic skin on its own. Oh, okay, your VOD idea is in the Discord. You guys don't have to put it in Discord. You can just put it in chat. But if you would rather do this in Discord, that is fine. Where is it in Discord? Is it in what, VOD's channel? Can I find the VOD's channel? VODs. Okay, code. Alrighty. Dude. Whoa. Honestly, maybe in the future we should go into the Discord and just do it there. I'll have to set up a bot or something that will help you guys out with that. But all right, what's up, everybody? Let's start the Free VOD Friday. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you're just vibing out today and you're looking at other people do their VODs, you know what? That is okay too. So, what is the? It's this one, right? I think this is you. Let me turn this down a little bit. So this is Plat Ana. We've been looking at a lot of Ana recently, which is kind of odd. Like, given Ana's place in the meta, it's kind of weird. But let's get the show on the road. My allergies aren't too bad today, so maybe I can talk for longer. Maybe we can get a little bit longer of a stream. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do some quick play with you guys after all this as well. But Let's see where you maybe go wrong here with Ana, with Plat Ana. Usually it's a positioning and nades problem, but let's see here. Is this on console? It's a console game. Yep. Okay. So honestly, my first like problem I have with this gameplay is that it's very passive. Like you're not trying to set yourself up to get like a big nade to maybe carry your team. Big high ground here that's very easy to get nades right here to get a flank nade. Overall, just right now, it seems like you're super passive. You need to be more assertive in your gameplay and try to like make stuff happen, especially on a console. Like I used to play on console, the nades do so much more over there because people don't really understand that they need to play less aggressive. See, like right here, it's like you go for this aggressive play with your sleep dart, but then you use your nade on yourself. Where in reality, I'd much rather see you use the nade to be aggressive and the sleep dart to be to kind of back yourself up. Like that's the trade I much rather prefer, because the sleep dart's only gonna, if you're going aggressive with it, right? Sleep dart's only gonna get one target, and you're gonna miss out on a big splash on all these people, right? Where like those are kind of what you're missing out on in that regard. It's you can get a lot more done with an aggressive nade than you can with an aggressive sleep dart, especially since the sleep dart on tanks, which is easy to hit, is like half as long now. So it looks like you were trying to be more aggressive here, but you have to understand, like, just the idea of like, oh, I'll be more aggressive doesn't always work. Also, this music is very loud, but the whole idea is that just being aggressive alone isn't really going to work for you. You need to find ways to set yourself up to be aggressive as well. It's not just like, oh, because I'm thinking of doing damage, I'll do more damage. No, it's the constant pursuit of finding effective damage that's going to really make something happen for you. Because right now, all you're doing is like, you're just lighting your diva up. There's nothing to really be scared of here. Like they're running a Sig. They're running like a Bastion Ashe. They're not really gonna push you. There's like, but you could even flank over here, maybe look for a nade in the back line, look for a sleep on the Bastion, then play on this high ground, force them to like commit dynamite to you. Once the dynamite's down, you can look to be anti-ing the Sig again. The problem is that you're letting them play slow. They're not playing J Queen. They're playing Sigma. They're playing a spammier comp. If they were playing a more brawly core, I could see you maybe not wanting to play with your team here. But they're playing a Sigma at the end of the day, so you need to adapt to what they have. If you sit there and don't do anything and just play the game the same every single time, you're going to lose. And that goes for every FPS game you ever play that has, like, heroes that people are bound to. Now, here's the thing. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like, this is probably one of the hardest points to carry on as support. Like, getting past this first choke is probably the hardest thing. But if you need to be, like, as pushy as possible to try to, like, hard carry past this first point. Because once you're past this choke, you can kind of carry on support. Other roles do really well on this map, but not so much support. That's why this is one of those maps that I just don't like. I'll check then, Sugar. Alright, so I see you starting to walk up here. You're going to drop off, aren't you? Here's the thing, like, you have a Mercy. Your diva is full health. You don't need to worry. You don't need to worry about healing her right there. You don't need to worry about healing really any of them right now. What you need to worry about is, like, holy moly, like, this Sigma is almost down his shield. The Ashe is overextended. If I hit an anti-nade here, explosion in your... They win. Like, you win. Problem is you're waiting too long. You need to be more assertive. The thing is like, I could make millions upon millions of videos teaching people to be more assertive. It'll never work. You gotta just hear it from the source. And you gotta, like, see, this is what you should do though. Every single fight you need to be doing this. Every single fight you need to set yourself up to be hitting nades. Even if this doesn't work out for you. This is one of the problems with Ana, because it's all about setting up opportunities for your team through aggressive anti-nades. That's like the motto. The problem is not every opportunity is going to get followed up upon, especially on the lower end of console. So you're just going to have to keep doing this until your team catches on. You win this fight right here, this hardest choke to push, and then you go from there. Dude needs to follow awkward. Damage, damage, damage. Okay, but the problem is, if he were only to do damage, 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 it would be almost as bad as if he was only doing healing. So we have to make sure we're taking it the extra step. And I will always say this, and you don't just listen to the face value of what me and Awkward are saying. You're really trying to understand what it is we're actually telling you to do, because it's not just damage, damage, damage. But it's a good point. Like, does he need to be more aggressive? Yes. Damage is not necessarily the way that you have to do that. It is an avenue of success. So this point, like, you set an opportunity up for your team, but you didn't really play off of it right. So right here, it's like, this is why you might feel like you can't be aggressive, right? Because we're not taking it that we understand that we need to be aggressive. We understand that we need to do damage, damage, damage. But now we need to understand, like, how do you actually do that effectively? Because you can't just do damage and then not dodge the dynamite and the coalescence. So now that we're in this aggressive position, we have to understand, what are they going to try to do to take us off of this position, and how much value do they need to put in order for me to get out? And it's like, if you know they have a dynamite, all you have to do is just play farther away until because inevitably they'll use it, or they'll use it on the front line, and then you can swing off of that, waiting for this dynamite, and then looking for the nade again, or maybe looking to sleep someone there and just chill and wait for your team to walk in. There's different ways that you can play off the high ground, but I think the first thing you need to focus on is just getting to this high ground efficiently. You took 2 minutes to get here. Getting to this high ground as much as possible is the first step. We'll watch a few more fights. Right here is one of those opportunities too. It's like, why aren't we looking for a sleep dart to kind of cancel this Sigma ult? You know what I'm saying? We just kind of sit there and let our team almost die. Like, this Mercy is literally one shot, and we're just kind of sitting there doing like nothing because we're scared we're gonna get pulled. You got to go for those carry plays and look for sleeps. I miss those sleeps a lot because, quite frankly, I'm washed. I haven't played up. I haven't played it a lot recently. I'm not warm. But the more you practice it, the more you're going to make those sleeps, the more you're going to carry games. And I hate to be that guy, but the way you get out of plat is you carry games. Like, that's just kind of how it works. So, again, we used nade in a bad spot. Like, you could have just healed that diva anyways. And if we would have just waited to hold off on that nade that was scared, and we would have used the nade, let's say, in this situation on the... If we would have used nade in this situation on the Ashe, that is a free pick. You don't even have to invest nano. You can invest nano afterwards and try to force out the Sig. But see how, like, this fight right here looks a lot easier to win than a fight where you're just going to kind of, like, the Sigma's going to sit here on the high ground. He's going to spam you the whole game, and then you're just going to walk into it. Like, that's, if you're running Sigma, maybe that's the play. But when you're running Diva, it's like, okay, we take this angle. We look for this angle. We look to force them out and then maybe surround them, which is kind of what your team is doing. If we look at this here, your team is kind of surrounding them. You're playing your comp a little bit better. Obviously, this could be better, but, like, I think we're getting to the I think you're starting to understand this. Well, I hope you're starting to understand this. So you actually nano the Diva and you still don't kill that Ashe right away because we didn't have nade, because we're scared of using it aggressively. But look at this. Like, because you're playing aggressive, you're still safe. You just need to be more assertive. I don't know if aggressive is necessarily the word you need. You need to be more assertive and make sure that your presence is known throughout the fight. I think that's something a lot of players need to learn. And the problem is like, no amount of advice I can give you is just going to make it click. Like, you're going to have to just keep practicing at it and keep coming back and watching better players play until it's like, oh, wow, I get this now. Because that's like the hardest thing to learn, is how you can be assertive on support. Sometimes it almost feels like wrong. But, Sugar, I don't think I got your message. Can you message me again? You might have not messaged the right Paz. It's Paz at the top of the Discord server. So while we figure that out, I'm going to go to Fafner in YouTube. If you're scared of dying... Okay, here's the thing. before we actually go to this next VOD, if you're so scared of replay not found, hold up. Here's the thing, you can't be step one, right? You cannot be afraid of dying. That's just something that can't happen. Like you need to be confident in yourself and in the way that you position yourself, that you will follow through with what you need to do. You need to have confidence. Number two is, even if you're scared of dying, staying all the way in the back is not always the best play, right? Like what if they have a Winston, Tracer, or Sombra? I want to play closer to my team almost in that sense, because then it'll be harder for... I mean, in most cases, I want to play close to, like, let's say a Rhino or a Junker Queen, because then they can actually help me when I get dove. The problem is like, it's situational. You have to look at the situation. If they had a Reinhardt or a Junker Queen, I do not want you to stay right next to your diva. I don't want you to stand right next to your diva, because you're just going to get run over. But the thing is, you have to understand how the situation changed. You know this stuff. Like, oh, Sigma can poke me. Sigma wants to go... Ash wants to play far away too. She wants to make that fight as long as possible. Because of that, then you can play around that. You can understand it a little bit better. The thing is, all of that nonsense, people aren't going to play tanks right at your rank at all. That doesn't start happening until like maybe Masters. And that's a little bit of a stretch for console too, because I understand. I did not get your last message. I said that, Trigger. The big thing for you is that you just need to be more assertive. You have to understand what your job is on the team and how you're going to be getting value. Like with Ana, I'm making opportunities for my team through the use of my anti-nade, through the use of my utility. That's essentially what I need to do. If I'm going to sit all the way in the back, why am I not playing Baptiste? Why am I not playing Kiriko? Those characters can heal all day. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to pick Ana, you need to be assertive and do things with your anti-nades. You can't be scared. And the thing is, first few games that you start trying to play assertive again, are you going to die a lot? Yeah, probably. Are you going to get flamed? Maybe. But the thing that you really have to understand here is, why does that matter? Step one, why does ranked even matter? Step two, why do you care about what the players that don't care about ranked are saying about you in ranked? You know what I'm saying? At this point, it's like, you get better at being more assertive. You throw a few games. Okay, whatever, dude. They'll flame you. They'll still be plat in 2 months. In 2 months, you'll be Grandmaster. Like, who cares at that point, you know? We've grown. We've improved. So, step one, gain confidence. Step two, try to be more assertive in the fight. And they're directly correlated, because to be assertive, you have to be confident. You're trying to make your presence known in a situation that's uncomfortable. Like, that's quite literally what being assertive is. Lander, I from YouTube, I can't really tell you, because the problem is with this game is that you have to look at the bigger picture here. You have to try to promote an understanding of the situation that is presented to you. No two situations are the same. Sometimes, yeah, maybe I will push for my tank, you know? Like, for example, like maybe I will push for my tank sometimes if they need healing. Like, let's say I'm in like a safe spot back here, and this tank is like trying to maybe push in to get a pick. In that situation, like, sure, maybe I'll go in and I'll try to help them, even if it's not the safest position ever. There are safer ways to do it, though. But here's the thing. If I'm playing all the way back here and the whole team's playing back here, and then Orion tries to pin into the back line over here, obviously the situation changed. But the problem is, I can't give you a true answer to your question, because you have to understand, and I feel like a lot of players struggle with this, and you're not alone, and like, don't feel bad about this, because even I struggled with this stuff too when I first started playing, is that you have to understand that Overwatch is a fast-paced game, and the more fast-paced the game is, the more likely that you're just going to have to think on your feet and analyze a bunch of different situations really quick. Dynamic positioning. I mean, absolutely, that's exactly what it is, but like, I can't teach you that. I tried to start creating a video with Poke about dynamic positioning, and I mean, we're still probably going to revisit that idea at some point, but it's just like, is that really what the community needs right now? I'm not so sure. Yeah, Sugar, I'm still not getting it. Are you sure? Oh wait, never mind. I think I am. let me finish this VOD first, and then I can look at your code, and then we'll present it and we'll figure it out. What's up, B-Dog? Good luck in your tournament today. If you want me to look over a VOD before you play, I'm down to do that, but it's up to you. I see your point. Thanks for the clarification. Yeah, and Amro, come back to all the other VOD Fridays, and we'll see. Like, I'm here to help you. I do this because I want to help you guys, and honestly, one time a week is what you guys need. Like, you don't want to do this every single day. It's gonna get way too crazy in your head. Like, give yourself a checklist for the week, work through that, and then come back prepared for the next free VOD Friday. That's essentially the model here. It's helpful. All right, Fafner, let's see. I don't know what rank you are. I feel like I've looked at your stuff before. I just don't remember. Okay, I'm down with that, Suzu. He wasn't in the best situation. Quite frankly, he didn't need it, but... Munching on Popeyes, damn.
I thought you were a sniper. Double kill.
I mean, it is better for you to stay alive. But the way that you're pumping pressure isn't really pumping pressure. You're just staying alive. Flat 3, okay. So yeah, I don't think that Suzu was needed. I'm okay though. Like, that wasn't the worst Suzu in the world. You know, I really enjoy the fact that you're actually being aggressive here, because you have a Baptiste. So you have the liberty, now that you don't have Suzu, to actually be pretty aggressive here. So this is a really big brain play. The fact that you're actually going for this is really smart, and you can see how this paid off. Like, this is what all supports need to be doing. Even in, like, pro level play. Quite frankly, though, in pro level play, there's a lot more structure. Because there's a lot more structure, you don't have as much time to get away with stuff like this. But because it is ranked, sometimes you can just make these stupid plays and make it work. Because there's an opportunity that's open for you, and if you choose to take it, you can take it. When I'm playing Kiriko in a pro level lobby, I don't get these opportunities. I'm playing with my Junker Queen. We were 3-2-1ing on enemies. We're doing a lot of different things that you, quite frankly, will never see ever in Overwatch, in any rank. I call this ability Milk because, yeah, it does actually look like milk. Gluey, we'll get to you. You're behind a few other people, but if I forget about you after Sugar, let me know. Because sometimes I'm forgetting and stuff.
Like a gentle rain.
Like, quite frankly, you probably could have looked back at your team instead of trying to kill that Mercy there and make sure that your Baptiste lives. But the fact that you're being a little bit more aggressive is good. The fact that you're being more assertive as a support is good. This is kind of what you want to... Everyone should try to push for this. This is just what seems to me like you watch Awkward a lot, and maybe a little bit of an overcompensation of doing almost too much damage a little bit. But you still won the fight, so... Who's complaining?
Restoring balance.
Well, good luck on the exams. I have some summer classes that I have finals for next week, so I completely understand. Yeah, like this is perfect. Honestly, you have better aim on Kiriko than I do. But this is kind of what you're looking at. When you have a Baptiste, you have the opportunity to be aggressive like this. Like, dude, you're just flexing on us right now. Isn't this what you did last week? Didn't you flex on us? The only thing I will say is that you are doing a lot of damage, which is good. There's a lot of opportunities where you're not doing damage, where you can weave in a little bit of heals. I know you have a Baptiste, but at the end of the day, yes, your goal is to, in this composition, when you're playing with a Baptiste, is to get picks. It's not just to do damage, really. It's actually just to get picks, and you're doing that well. You also have to understand that you have one of the strongest ultimates in the game, and you want to make sure you're building that. Like... 100%. This is why I don't like the whole idea of like, oh yeah, bro, if you want to climb, just do damage, because that's a big part of it. It's not the full story. I want to make sure you guys are understanding that. Because there's no reason you should be stuck in plat if you have aim like this. You're doing this kind of stuff. Yep, looking for the pick. Okay, I mean, mechanics could have been a little better there, but still, the fact that you went for it, I'm okay with that. So this is one of those situations where like the damage is a bit reckless because I like this idea. I just think you did it a little bit too late. You pushed when they already had the advantage instead of like trying to contest them as they got to this. Like if you were contesting the Hanzo and you probably wall climbed up here when it was here and the sim wasn't with him, I think it's a different situation. I think we were just a little bit too slow on that, and the 1v1 was a little too hard. At the end of the day, like, you are a support character. I like that you're pressuring them off of this angle. I just would have liked to see it a little faster. This is one of those situations where you need to be more assertive in your ideas before you actually start. And I mean, still at the end of the day, this is not a plot level mistake. You're gonna go back to studying. Well, thanks for coming out. I hope I was helpful.
The kitsune is ready to be unleashed.
What's up, Mads? How you doing? A Gen Z man. I think the aim is a little panicky. They go up right in the face. The enemies makes it much harder to aim for them. Keep some distance would help. Possibly. Here's the thing. As a coach, I'm not here to teach you how to aim. If the dude's hitting shots, the dude's hitting shots. If he gets better at it, he can get better at it. Quite frankly, I feel like the reason why it was frantic and up close was just because the assertive mindset to get to that position before they did. That's why we were forced into a situation like that instead of being there already. There's also mind behind the matter. I don't even know if that's the thing, but like this right here, sometimes the angles you take are a little bit silly, but like you're not gonna get better at taking smarter angles if you don't like try new things. Like you'll have to practice and get better at the aiming stuff, but so, okay, Faf. I think I'm starting to understand what your problem actually is. Like, you have this idea of damage, right? But I feel like as support, everyone here, like everyone listen up. You all have to understand this thing. Like, when you're playing in ranked, and when I'm doing the unranked to GM, my job is to do a lot of damage and create a lot of opportunities, right? When I look at my team, you should almost look at your teammates as a tool. Like, almost as if they're not human. That's weird. Almost as if, like, you don't want them to know that you're using them, but you want to use them to win the game. Like, think of you as support. You're like playing chess. And you are going to make them... You're going to utilize them to help you. Like, you're the king and you're going to use them to help you win and kill them. So, some situations, right? It's okay in a situation where it's like, okay, I can flank here. I can look for a pick. But I think what you have to understand is that there's a certain point in the fight where, like, they're going to start looking at you on the flank and you're not as safe anymore. And you can shift the focus to, okay, I got the pick. They're now going to pressure me. That opens up an opportunity for, now that your team isn't getting looked at, now they can walk in. So it's almost like you set up an opportunity for your team. You now shift the flow of the fight and you use your teammates to, let's say, like a diva against the Ramatra instead of you against the Ramatra. Like, that's a lot more favorable. And now you can heal them and help and keep the advantage that you created going, because you're creating a lot of opportunities for your team. But at the same time, you're not healing your team. You're not supporting your team when they want to start going in. So a lot of the value that you're getting, it kind of is really just coming all down to you. The whole awkward... And here's the thing. Awkward knows this. Awkward knows that it's not just damage. He was a contenders player. He was better than me. He was better than all of you. He will always be better than me because, quite frankly, I don't think I'm ever going to try to go contenders in this game again. Who knows? Maybe that will change. I don't know. Besides the point. The thing that he understands, though, is that a lot of players do not understand that they need to create some value for the team first so they can follow up upon it a whole lot easier, because they're not that great. Like, they're gold players. They're plat players, man. They're not these crazy Overwatch League players. They can't do it on their own. The problem is you have adopted this mindset so heavily that you're trying to do damage, and essentially you're just trying to 1v5 every single fight. And the craziest thing, you're actually succeeding. And sometimes I do too in unranked to GM, because that's just like what you can do in these ranks sometimes. But the thing is, it would be a lot more consistent if you're like, okay, I got my pick. I threw my few kunais. Let's see where the team is. Oh, cool. This D.Va's taking a 1v1 with Ramatra. Let me help him. Or, oh, my soldier's trying to visor, but he just got antied. I have Suzu. He's getting walked on by Ramatra. I could maybe try to, like, push for the flank. Or maybe I could just, like, help the person that is going to get more value than what I would get. It's kind of understanding, yes, you have a job. You can be aggressive, but you also have to understand when it's time to be like, okay, maybe someone else, it's their time in the spotlight. It's their time to shine. That's a big thing as support. It takes a lot of patience that a lot of players, quite frankly, don't have, and they don't know they're supposed to have, too. Which is why I think support, yeah, it can be pretty easy for top-ranked players. That's because they have years and years of experience in a game that would tell them everything that they can do. So, like, right here, yeah, you're just pressuring people, but at the same time, it's like... Honestly, I feel like that Widow kind of was just dead from the beginning. Yep, so, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, now is the time. It's like, okay, I can't really get a whole lot done right now. I'm chilling. It's time for me to help my team. And then the problem is you're not as quick to understanding when your team needs help because you don't have as much practice with this. Like, the D.Va doesn't need the healing right here. The soldier needs preemptive heal because he's the one that's going to be taking more effective damage than from this Ramatra than the D.Va. That's not going to take as much because she has more health. I hope this is making sense to you. And then that was just a bad game sense decision that you made that led your soldier to get killed, because if you had preemptively healed him, he probably would have lived. It's stuff like that. Once you have the damage part down, like honestly more so than I do on Kiriko. But it's that shift in understanding that really needs help here. Yep, trying to take advantage of the Mercy here. Whatever, you missed a few shots. It happens. Hit some Vaxta. You'll be better in a week. Overall, though, if your soldier lives, much different fight. Maybe not a win, but at least making them invest a little bit more than they did. Because now they have Ramatra, things get a little dicey.
Push the payload.
He didn't need to do that.
The breeze brings relief.
So again, right there, you forced her out. You got her recall out. Cool, you did your job. You created a lot of value for your team. A lot of pressure has been alleviated. You're not in a position where you're going to be able to really flank super, super hard here. All right, cool. I'm back with my team. Like, that's fine. Problem is we're over extending into this and trying to find like damage value that quite frankly just isn't needed. Thankfully, your Baptiste is still like keeping it down. But, like right here, it's like you're not going to win that. You're not awkward. You're not winning that Tracer 1v1 every single day. At the end of the day, you forced out her recall. That's all you need to do. Now you can play your team like chess, and then when you see another opening to flank and maybe get some aggressive value, you can go for that. I feel like a lot of people need to understand that, yes, you should do damage, but at the end of the day, you're playing Kiriko. You're not playing Cassidy. You're not playing Tracer. Like, cool, bam. That's another opportunity. She doesn't have recall. If she's gonna play stupid and walk into your team like that, you're gonna get that every single time. I swear, even a silver player would be able to do that. Things you have to understand that when you're setting yourself up and when you can be aggressive. Like, bam, now your teammate's making space for you after your flank. Now she doesn't have a recall. Now you just get 5 kills. Like, cool. Understand that your teammates are a tool at this level. They aren't gonna do it for you all on your own, but quite frankly, if it were up to me, I think you have the damage thing down on Kiriko. I think what you need to understand on this character specifically is that, like, the conventional way of playing Kiriko, the way that you play Kiriko with a team. Who do I have to heal? When do I Suzu? When do I TP back to my team? The basics of Kiriko is what you should really work on in terms of a team environment. You should still continue doing the damage stuff because it's good. That other side of Kiriko that you need to start going back and forth from is what you kind of need to focus on a little bit. And I don't have enough time to really teach you all that stuff, but we do have YouTube videos that teach you, you guys, all of these things. I have a full-fledged Kiriko guide if you need to brush up on anything, but I don't think you do. Okay, but now we're working on Sugar. And then after that, we're working on Glowy. I'm probably messing your name up. And I think that those are the 2 VODs that are up next. But what's up, everybody? There's a lot of new people in chat. Just keep in mind, this is this stream is sponsored by Alienware. Very good company, very good products if you're going to be traveling on the go like I do. I do VOD reviews on the go every now and then for my own gameplay in class. I should be focusing in class, but I don't. And also that we are streaming on Twitch as well. Sometimes the quality is better over there. But okay, let me read this before I actually. Let me read this to myself to make sure this isn't like confidential. There's some context to it, and I'd like to come to stream and maybe like talk to you about it so I can see it. I mean, do you want to come to Discord and talk about this? I'd be down. Here after watching your Zen gameplay. Dude, awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My Zen's honestly probably better than my Ana right now. But we have a player that is colorblind. And they said they wanted to actually talk about it on stream, which I mean, I'd be down to talk about it. I don't want to be that guy because you said you're completely colorblind. Complete colorblind. Like, even if you did any of these colorblindness options, it would still mess you up. Dude. That is like Overwatch on hard mode. Hey Pat, since your advice last week, I'm using more charge volleys using Zen, trying not to be so on a positioning as you suggested. Hope I improved a little. Thanks. Yeah, we will get to you. We have a lot of people in chat. So we have Sugar, Gluey, and then you, Los. What's up, Blonde from Twitch? You see in black and white? Holy shit, that is going to be so hard for you. Dude, you have to, like, see textures. But, yeah, you can't even see junk traps because you can't see texture on the junk trap sometimes. Greed? Who is that? I don't know who that is. We can react to that video at the end of the stream. Is Zen too easy, though? Dude, like, I need to have a whole video about why Overwatch isn't easy. So here's the thing, right? Characters sometimes are just going to be easier for other players. But what people have to start understanding is that Overwatch as a game is hard. There's going to be characters that are easier than others to command a game given the meta. But to say that one character is easy, like, dude, look at Call of Duty. That stuff's easy, man. Like, obviously there's nuance to it at the highest level, but anyone can pick up a controller, see, oh, I have an AK-47, I shoot the enemy. Like, Overwatch, there's a lot more steps to it. So to say any character is easy, get out of here, man. Get some, what am I saying? Some sense. I don't know. That's not what I'm saying. Like, try to look at the big picture here. Like, no character in this game is easy. There are definitely characters that are easier than others, but to be like, yeah, bro, this character is easy. Then I want to see you be contenders on this character, like, genuinely. You know? Like, Moira, yeah, she's easier. I'm not gonna lie, like, her mechanics are easier. But at the end of the day, it's like, you stick some person that's only played Call of Duty on Moira. Are they gonna be GM on Moira? Heck no. No. No plat player is just magically gonna pick up Moira and become GM. Like, there's perspectives here. Like, a character is easy to pick up, sure. But, like, to become really good at the game, that no matter what character you play, that's gonna be hard. I feel like there's just very little whatever. But I'm normally on Ana, but I wanted to play Zen because my team was raging at you. Okay. Yeah, this could be a whole podcast. Maybe I should make a podcast. Just talk to pro players that I know. I've been wanting to do that, but I don't know how to, like, I need to set that up. But okay. So we're playing open queue. Honestly, let's just kind of see maybe where you're going on Zen. I personally prefer never playing open queue in Overwatch 2. It is just a mess. They don't balance it, but you said you like to warm up in this game mode, so I I don't know. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. That's all that matters. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you pretty much what I told Los last week, who's in chat actually right now. You can look to charge right clicks around corners and then look for picks that way. When you shoot at a bastion on high ground right here, you shoot your single orb 3 times. They're gonna kind of get the whole picture of, okay, this person's gonna keep shooting at me and I'm probably just gonna like run away like over here or down over here where my shield is, and I'm just gonna like chill, you know? So if you're looking for picks in this, just look to right click and maybe try to look for a pick, because they'll get caught by surprise, and by the time they even realize they're getting shot, they're already dead because it's a volley. And honestly, when we look at Los's VOD, we'll see how we can improve on this, right? The other thing is, I'm actually okay with you left clicking if you're left clicking the shield in this situation. You can be like hard left clicking people when the shield is up, so you can break it faster and not really waste your time. But the problem is, I still have yet to make a video about these maps. It's so hard for me to teach you how to play Zen better on this map in open queue. But the main thing I can say is the right clicking around corners is actually going to get you so much value. The other thing is, like, your team is pushing forward and is allowing you to take this high ground and maybe kill the Zen. Like, be assertive. Don't be scared. And if they flame you, it's a sponsor stream. I can't really say some things I would like to say, but who cares about them? You guys can understand. 2 words. No. You can understand what I'm saying. If people are going to give you crap, you know, yeah. But yeah, right here, it's like, you can be a lot more aggressive than what you're being right now. You have tanks. You can just put your Discord on Ryan and really just walk in and open queue and you'll win every game. But what I would say is right-clicking around corners and looking for Discords on like tank targets that your team is trying to walk down on is what's going to help you out in the long run the most here. So right here, honestly, I wouldn't even be playing cart. I'd be pushing this high ground and looking to get some ult charge before they get some of their ultimates. I think the thing that you need to know is being assertive and looking to right-click. Oh, you have a good point. You can't tell whether there's shields on their team. Huh. That is such a problem that I don't know how to... Okay, wait. You only see in... This is so new to me. You only see in black and white. So, like, is blue and red the same color? Or, like, if you changed the color, right, to make, like, the red more, like, purple or something, would that show up as black? And I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm trying to understand, is there a way that you could make it? No. Dude. Dude, I don't know how to help. That is so hard. It's grayish. That is so hard. No, like, I kind of understand what you're saying. Like, you have to make a map in your head because you can't tell who's on your team. You can't tell who's on the enemy's team. You can't tell who's on shield. You have to just kind of assume. I mean, I guess you could press tab and kind of like understand who's on what team, but that's hard. Dude, you're like playing a no HUD, essentially. You're like doing the Boger challenge. Wow, that is... Honestly, I feel like it might be easier to manage in an environment that is not open queue. It's worse in normal queue? Really? I feel like the fact that there's so many like tanks kind of makes it harder for the DPS. Okay, that makes more sense. I mean, you're doing a pretty good job. I'm just so fascinated that I'm so fascinated that your awareness is still so good given the situation. Oh man. So like, here's the thing, right? There's nothing I can tell you that's gonna make your situation easier because I don't know your situation, and also you're playing really well in terms of your awareness given your situation. Like, you have to be aware of the things that are going on. You have to constantly be thinking about these things. So what I would say is maybe use your heightened awareness, or like the fact that you're trying to be more aware, to be more assertive in the fight and try to get more things done. But then it's like, if you try to flank, like, you're gonna forget who's on your team and where they are because you can't just look back. Honestly, the way I would overcome the challenges would be the right clicking idea, and dude, you have to, like, the problem is you have to like understand Overwatch to a heightened level, like to such a heightened level that it will help you really visualize what's going on all the time. Because for me, I've played so much Overwatch that I can just kind of assume where the enemy's going to be, where my friendlies are going to be. But you don't have thousands of hours in Overwatch at high level scrim level experience. And the fact that you need to have that to climb is weird. What I can say, though, is you're doing a really good job. I would just say this map is not friendly towards the flank Zen. What I would say is the big idea is the right clicking around corners and then trying to just poke out things that you maybe think are enemies. Because that's how you get a lot of picks. That's how you get a lot more damage done. And also, when you're playing in open queue, when you're playing against a Ramatra, a Reinhardt, a Junker Queen, your Discord Orb is always going to them. If you can always keep doing that, you're going to continue to win games. But the thing it's really simple, but I really just want you to take a whole week into doing what Los is doing, or what Los did, which was taking a step back and really starting to right click around the corners. Like, that's a big problem that you need to solve instead of just left clicking the whole time. It's gonna be harder for you. Like, I can't say that it's not gonna be, because that's just a challenge. But I mean, you're pretty darn good at it, even though you are not in a advantage. But I didn't realize how important color really is in gaming, like how important color is just in general, and that is eye-opening. So I appreciate you actually coming in here and teaching about that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about how there is no way to make that easier. It's just gonna be harder. I could maybe do like an unranked to GM, no HUD. Yeah, like no HUD. Unranked to GM, no HUD, no comms. I might want to try doing that and try to like involve myself within the world that you have to live in as much as I really can, because I don't know if I can make it monochromatic too. That would be so hard. Like, I know Boger has done it on Winston. What character would I even do that on? Like, Zenyatta? Should I do Zenyatta when I come back? Unranked to GM, no HUD, no color, no comms, no audio. Wow. Blaberto. If you guys want me to say what I have to say about PvE, we will do that at the end of the stream. I do want to get done with the VODs first, though. I play a lot by sound as well. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to almost. That's crazy. Okay, but Glowy, I don't know if you're still in chat. I don't want to hold up the stream too much. Also, what's up? I don't care about your life. What's up, man? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. There are NVIDIA filters. Oh, what is that news and yada? Ugh.
Ready for battle.
Doing good? Me? Yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, although you don't really care. I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. So you've been climbing a lot and you feel like you've done a lot by shot calling. Okay. Well, let's see what you're shot calling off of and maybe what I can help you. Feel like you hit a hurdle in plat and you want to hit diamond. All right, well, we're starting off by doing some damage. It's a good start. We know that they have a widow, so playing on this position in hard scoping is going to be very dangerous. Reason being, widows like to go from here and they like to go here. They like to just completely deny the fact that you are on high ground and does not let you have it. And they also have a Hanzo as well that's going to be holding this angle, so you're going to have a game to play, which is no more hard scoping and good luck living, because that's your job, to ante this hog and keep your team alive. It's very boring. Honestly, double sniper, I'm happy it got nerfed. Honestly, you might actually be able to play off this high ground now, because widow fall off might be low-key kind of crazy. Bad for her right now. Like, the damage fall off might not even affect you. Nope, it still does. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Whenever there's a widow on King's Row, and honestly, this was for science. So if you guys didn't know this, widow can still one-shot you supports up here. You still have to play the conventional method. Okay, so the thing is here, the moment you realize they have snipers on King's Row, your life becomes very difficult on Ana, because you want to hold on this high ground. You want to try to get the nade on this tank as they walk in. That's like the standard play. Quite frankly, though, you can't always go for that. So because of that, and I know they have two snipers still, I'm going to rotate. Sometimes I rotate up here. I don't love it because their widow can still see me from this little ledge here. Hanzo can maybe go here, and it's just I can get poked out really easily. Where I almost would rather prefer, which is what I usually do, is I just drop down to this down here, and I can look to support the fight linearly here. It kind of sucks in that way, because if it's Ryan versus Ryan, like, it's going to be a lot harder for me. But what you have to understand is, if they're running double sniper, they don't do well when the tanks are fighting on point here. Like, they don't the tank battle, there's not a whole lot of pressure that's going to be helping their tank win this 1v1. So it's okay that I rotated all the way around here, because they invested 2 picks to get me to drop off high ground. Like, at that point, I've kind of deducted to myself that maybe that is a worthwhile trade. On top of that, they're going to have a much harder time in the mid-fight if stuff goes down and it hits the fan. It's a lot easier for me to, hey, look, I can maybe flank and look for an aid here, because they don't have a Cassidy, they don't have a May that's going to be able to really punish me for taking an aggressive flank, let's say here, and hitting an aid there. So hard scoping number 1 against a Widow or Hanzo, stop doing it. Please stop doing it. Everyone is doing it. You got to stop. It's not Rainbow Six Siege. It's not Valorant, where you can hard scope or like stand still, whatever, and you can just like out mechanic. It doesn't work that way on Ana. Number 2 is understand the rotation. Understand that now they don't have things that can really roll you close range all of the time, given some specific situations, and take advantage of that. Did you get rezzed? Is that what happened here? Okay, yep, you got rezzed. Let's see. You could also, like, still play here, but at that point, usually someone gets sent up here to force you out, and the Widow has a free shot on you. Usually. And now that we've waited so long, like, you're in a little bit of a downtime. Oh, what should you do here? What should you have done here? I want to see, let's see how you could have had a better execution on this nade, Gluey. Also, I'm probably still messing up your name, but you know what? I'm trying my best. Ooh. What if this nade... What if this nade didn't go this angle and only hit one person, but instead hit point right here and possibly splashed both? This is the part where it's like, oh crap, my tank's gonna die. But the problem is, it's gotta be deeper, right? You've got to understand, how can I be aggressive? How can I create an opportunity that my Sig's actually gonna win this? Because I'm sorry, or none. Okay, Blob, here's the problem, right? Here's the thing. Well, Paz, this is really hard to hit. Step one, practice. Over time, you'll get it. You'll make it happen. Also, these people are naturally just going to fight closer to another. You can wait a little bit to hit the nade. So let's get that out of the way. Eventually, you'll be able to hit this nade. What does a nade that only hits Sig do here? What does it do? Is a Sig really going to beat a Hog in a 1v1? Where the Hog has breather, he has his whole team. It's not going to do anything. You're just going to inevitably lose anyways. So you might as well, at least if you're going to only hit one person, at least hit the Hog. At least hit the Hog. But the number one situation is, if I ever see tank versus tank, biggest nade you're ever going to get for the freest value ever. It's so easy to hit. Try to hit these more. Try to really expand how many targets you're hitting with your grenade. It gets so much more value here. Never, like 90% of the time, you are not going to be using your nade to heal the Sigma. Honestly, I would say 95% of the time, you're going to be using it for anti-nade. Because let's look here. Naturally, Blob, they even got closer together. So it's easier to hit this. Like, you don't always have to pull the trigger right away. The first step is realizing that this is what you should be doing, and then you'll get better at hitting those aggressive nades that also help your team create opportunities and actually swing fights. But you have to understand, even if you do hit this nade, what does it do for your team? Absolutely nothing. So you might as well go for the risk anyways and get better at it. And if someone flames you, who cares, man? Like, at Siege 2 weeks ago, I was not as good of a player as I am now. And I'm still not that great of a player, but I'm a lot better. And you've seen that, like, when we first started playing Blob, just playing Siege whenever, I wasn't as good as I was now. I think we can all agree on that. But look at this, okay? 1v1. Yeah, he gets antied, and look, see how much easier? Even though that Hog was at a disadvantage in health and with all of his team, because the Sigma was anti, fell over completely. Like, it just showed you how much more beneficial an anti-nade is than a healing nade. Like, anti will heal your team more, actually, because by killing that Hog, the Sigma would not have taken damage from the Hog. Effectively, you have healed him all of the damage he took from that Hog the moment you didn't hit that anti-nade. Or the moment you do hit that anti-nade. Whatever the situation is, because I forget what I said at the start of the sentence, I think you guys understand. This was, like, the best way to look at this. Because you look, like, this is perfect. It's like, this is what you did wrong. Enemy Ana did it right. Enemy Ana is better. She won. Like, she beat you. Whatever. Go next fight. And now the Hog lives and you lose. Is Bronze 5 the hardest rank to climb out of? I'm going to be honest with you. I've never played in Bronze 5 because that would be unethical. I did do unranked to GMs though, so am I really the most ethical person? I don't know, man.
I needed that.
To be fair, it was for educational purposes. And I still lost games. But I don't love doing the unranked to GMs just because at the end of the day it's a little but the rank system, yeah. I have no clue what Bronze 5 is like. I'm going to be honest with you guys. So here's the thing. Again, the hard scoping when Widow was looking at you, you got to cut that out. I'm going to be honest, any rank in this game is going to be hard, especially if you're a new player. Bronze 5 is chaos? Yeah, that's kind of what I got from it when I looked at some VODs. And so we know the Widow's top.
I remember this.
Yep, we chill down low. That's good. Yeah, you gotta cut that out. Like, the problem is that you waited to nade for 3 seconds, which allowed this hog to do the entire health bar to Sigma. If you are more assertive, which is, again, I feel like every free VOD Friday for the next half of a year is gonna be this way, because so many players struggle with this. If you were more assertive sooner and you anti-naded this hog, it would have forced him to not walk in. It would have forced him to be a little bit more careful with the way he plays, that he wouldn't have done the full health bar to Sigma, and you wouldn't have had to nade him. If you used your nade more aggressively, like earlier, you would have avoided all of this. And so many people can learn from this. It's the same thing with Zen. If I would have just killed at least one target before the fight goes on as Zen, it creates so many more opportunities for my team to just breathe more. And at the end of the day, even though you heal naded, the Sigma still died. The heal nade doesn't do anything. And they even nerfed the heal nade, which I don't get why. You should never use it to heal anyways. At this point, I would just die. Or look for the exit frag. Oh, we missed the first shot. That's tough. Honestly, dude, if we're up to me, the two big problems you have, step one, against Widow, and really against any threat, because you just need to understand like what the threats are that you're against, and make sure you are adapting to those threats to not let them just kill you for free. Mostly we saw Widow there, but there was also sometimes where it's like you hear the hog just like, you know, moseying on around, and you're just kind of like playing in the open where you could get hooked at a moment's notice. You know, the number two thing is be aggressive with your nades. Be aggressive, please be aggressive. Okay, I gotta stop using aggressive. Just be assertive. Be assertive. That is the right word to use, because there's sometimes you could be too aggressive and be reckless. If you're assertive, that is a much better word. Be assertive. Be assertive. Be assertive. Be assertive. There you go. That's my Paz song. All right. There you go. So we did Gluey. I think this means we are on Los, and this is the last one that I'm aware of. So if there are no VODs for a few minutes after this one, we will stop doing VODs and we will start talking about the PvE, because it seems like some of you want me to talk about that. I have some strong opinions. But it's not as hot as some of these other content creators. I feel like it's kind of in the middle. Okay, it's Los there. Perfect. Thanks, man. I'll implement those in my game. And hey, if they don't work out for you, come back next Friday and we can help you out again. Alrighty, so we have more support gameplay. I am actually loving the fact that you guys have all put in support VODs today. You guys are making me so happy. Let's go. All right, anyways. Can you tell I'm a support coach?
5, 4, 3.
Alrighty, let's get this going. Let's get the show on the road.
Capture the objective.
All right, we're on Zen. So step one, you'll want to walk out of spawn with your team. So here's the problem with this, is that your team wants to play super aggressive, and now that you're lagging behind a little bit, this is like the only comp where this actually kind of matters. I like that you're not okay. I like that you didn't fall in the trap of I need to take high ground. I like that you didn't do that, because on this map, sometimes it's actually infinitely more beneficial for you to actually play this side of the map on Zen. I know it sounds crazy, but this high ground isn't as strong as you guys think, because they can play on a pretty good size or a good portion of this map without seeing you on high ground and just kind of win. I almost prefer playing down low, but it depends on the situation and the comps you're against. It gets pretty complicated at the top level. I do like that you're not killing yourself to try to get up here. I do like that. I do like that. All right, yep, you're forcing the Genji on you. You take the 1v1 with your Mercy because you right-clicked and you forced out that deflect and dash. Beautiful. All right, yep, right-clicking. Okay. All right, yep, unlucky, it happens. Unlucky, you missed some shots. It happens. Try to finish off that brig. All right, you have to reload. Okay, honestly, you want to know what the problem is here? You're getting a little bit better at your right clicks. I won't lie. I'm seeing right clicks. I'm like, ooh, gosh, dang, that's good. Okay, outside of that, though, the problem is now that you're actually exerting pressure on them and they're finally walking away from you, which is something you're probably not used to, what do you have to do? You have to walk in. You have to actually do your job and start killing these people now that they're low. You can't let them get away and get sustained again, and then you have to do this right click all over again. You don't necessarily have to flank. You don't necessarily need to flank. Because let's think about this, right? It's all about the situation. Did Zarya use both bubbles? Yes. Okay, nothing's really going to stop me. Cool. I'm running a Junker Queen comp. My Junker Queen's dead. Okay, well then, realistically, what arrow is better for you? You have to kind of like see where this fight's going. Okay, their Brig is here. Their Zarya's probably on this end. You can, I mean, if you want to call one a flank, I guess you could call one a flank. But realistically, like wrapping around over here, you can just walk in. Like, you don't have to be scared. Like, you have Mercy, you have Mei. If you walk in faster when they're all low and you're in the presence of your team, surely they won't let you die. Sometimes they will. And you'll have to then adapt to your situation after that, like we did in the unranked GM. Sometimes you just gotta walk in, and this is like you're there. Once you start walking in, now you're GM, because that's just how Zen works. You get that initial right click, and you can just walk in. Go with the flow of the fight and walk in. Essentially, yes. I don't know if it's not necessarily ebb and flow all the time. Sometimes it is though. Say right here, it's like, you need to just press this aggression now. Like, you got to pick on the Genji. You forced out bubbles and they're low. You just have to press this aggression a lot more. You need to be more assertive in the fight. Wow. I've said that like maybe 15 times today. It's like my new favorite word, assertive. Yep, see? Oh, dude. You see what I'm saying with this right click, though? You immediately force that Genji out. You force out his deflect, and man, you might even get a pick for that. Okay, you don't? Cool. You forced him out, though. Now what do you have to do? He's at a disadvantage. You have to press your advantage. This is your problem. You're not walking in now. I can't say anything because of the sponsor, but there's something that Memory told me, and he's a Chinese contenders player, aka they play ball. They play ball Zen. Like, they are the best at ball Zen. You have to stop being scared. Like, see, look at that. Why are you scared of Zarya? If you can discord her, hit her 3 times headshot with a volley, and she's almost dead already. Like, you need to walk in. You need to stop being... see, like, dude, this could have happened, like, 20 seconds ago if you just walked in sooner. If you look at the unranked GM, I'm almost always like, okay, cool, I got a right click, I forced someone out, I forced out cooldowns, now I just get to walk in. I don't really think about that consciously, but that is what I'm doing. Reinforce the hatch, so real. So right here, I think you could start on high ground. You don't have to play this low. Just because, like, they have an easy time kind of forcing off of this with wall. I would rather you be from a more aggressive... Like, you can be a lot more assertive from this position than you could from down here. Like, now we're getting to high-level concepts. So, like, you're there. You're there. Like, playing up here, like, this is a nice little angle. But the thing is, like, you want them to use cooldowns and use their time to force you off of this before you just, like, play here and then get forced back here. Ideally, the Genji would dash up on you here. You drop into your team. That's what would happen in a high-ranked lobby. In this lobby, they honestly might send their whole team this way, and then you walk over here, and now you're playing on the 33% of point they can't see. honestly, what you need to do is you just need to understand. You need to start walking in, be aggressive, and take control of the fight. Even I, in not unranked to GM, even I could be better at this. Memory still calls me a little, you know, for not walking in all the time. Sometimes he's like, don't be scared. Oh, dude, the right clicks. Oh my goodness, right clicks are so fun with Zen. Isn't that so awesome? Don't you feel better that you're hitting those kills now? I know you feel better because I know you're feeling yourself in this gameplay. Like you're starting to walk in a little bit more now after that pick. But then you're like, oh, I got to dial it back. You don't got to dial anything back. You need to be more aggressive here. You have a Mercy. You don't have a lot of healing. You need to get these kills fast. You have damage boost in Discord. Everything should be dying instantly. Okay, but yeah, your Arisa's starting to walk in. You have Trank, but they do have a May ult that you got to watch out for. Their team's not walking in because you're pressing your aggression. Okay, maybe we could have Tranked there faster. But honestly, I don't want you to worry about Trank right now. I want you to worry about being aggressive. You're gonna die here, aren't you? Okay. So maybe this is a fact of you not understanding how to... Okay, this is one of those situations, like, the fight's over. Get out. Over here, you've solidified the fact that you will die. Now you just want to go for an exit frag. Which you're going to get. Somehow. But at this point, it's like... You got to just prioritize living if you're going to stay here this long. This is one of those situations where it's like, now is not the time. Like, the fight is not allowing you to open up. But because it's gold, plat, diamond, whatever this rank is, you get away with all this stuff a lot easier. So right now, if they're going to give me high ground, honestly, I would just take it. I would just take it and start applying an off-angle pressure to them because I'm safe up there. But if I see a Life Weaver there and I want to start walking on them, okay, the mechanics could use some work, whatever. That'll take time. Nah, that May got her stuff deflected. Oh no, she just had a terrible mail. Okay, so like honestly, especially after your comment, I just think that your problem is that you know you want to be more aggressive, you just aren't sure how. So like flanking on Zen is not the way to think about it. Like realistically in Overwatch, you should almost never flank. Like if you're going on the flank, you're usually just trying to make a play and it's not like the conventional way of playing and you realistically shouldn't be doing that. Like you could get a lot of value, but you need to really pop off in order to do it. As Zen in this composition, you kind of have to understand, like naturally their Zarya is probably going to win this brawl better than your team. Although that could be up for debate. I think Lifeweaver does a little bit more in terms of the healing department than the Mercy does in terms of the way he supports the team and also with Life Grip. So realistically, I think you have to know that you want to finish this fight fast. So with the flow of this fight, realistically, I feel like it would be most beneficial to you if you could find ways to take a lot of different angles against the Zarya and almost surround her. Almost that's like almost what you're trying to do here. It's not quite. But that's why I'm saying, like, the angle of you, when you had this opportunity to take high ground here, the reason why I like that in this situation is because, like, you can force the team out from this angle while your team is walking in from this and the blue and the pink arrow. You can shoot on this pink arrow and almost force them then to walk backwards on the black arrow instead of just walking with your whole team. What I'm trying to see is, like, the flow of the fight, like in this situation, you're not necessarily flanking them and you're in a safe position because they have nothing that's just going to jump onto you on high ground. And if the Genji does, you just drop back into your team and now you're still breaking up their team a little bit. The way you have to think about Zen at this point is that the damage that you're doing is going to pressure them back and back and back and back and back into a position they don't want to be until now it's your time to just walk in with your team and clean up. Is kind of what Zen is trying to do in ladder. Because if the Genji jumps on you, you just jump down. Cool. Whatever. Now the Genji doesn't have dash. You can walk on the Zarya because now the Genji, instead of being right here, is up top here. Although, like, your right clicks are a lot better. I feel like you can just be a lot more assertive off of your right clicks in terms of your left clicks thereafter. And don't think about it as a flank. Think about it as, how can I control this fight safely as Zen? How can I be assertive, essentially? Because assertive is not being, like, ooga booga aggressive or just, like, yelling at someone. It's about standing up for yourself. It's about, like, hey, this is my point. I believe this is reasonable. What do you think? Like, let's have a conversation. Let's be on equal ground and talk about it. It's not like, let's walk in and be like, oh, you're wrong, I'm right, and you're going to have to deal with that. Like, that's aggressive. Sometimes that's the play. Usually it's not. In Overwatch, you can be very much more assertive and try to control this map and try to understand it better. I think that's the problem that you're having now. I don't know how I can really help you with that until you just kind of, like, keep working at. It's like a mental mindset thing that you kind of have to just, like, mold into, like, oh, it's not a flank. It's like I'm controlling the map here. And, oh, okay, like, I've pressured them out. They don't have bubbles. My team is still up, but we don't have a lot of healing. Like, we need to win this fight fast. Maybe I need to start walking in a little harder and maybe look for a pick here. Maybe look for a pick over here. I hope that helps. We got Mad Mads, and then I think that's going to be the last code because you just sent this in. Would you rather me look at your Kiriko or your Ana, Mad Mads?
Work is never done.
Alrighty, everybody. So, the whole idea of Ana is you want to create opportunities for your team. You want to be assertive. You want to be aggressive. That's the name of the game. If I see you not be, oh, dude, you got it. You don't even have a tank. Okay, let's see this. You're playing this how I played though. If I didn't have a tank, like, I'm playing farther away. I'm just looking to, like, slow down their push so that my Ryan can maybe get here in time. Yeah, happens that you were playing the same angle and hard scoping it. Don't do that. Make sure that you're making yourself at least harder to hit. Your Ryan's back, though, so okay, now we can actually talk about the real stuff. I don't love that nade, but it wasn't the worst. Was gonna hit if she didn't die right away. Okay, so they have a Rhine now. Now we have to think, how am I gonna hit a nade on a Reinhardt that has a shield up and, like, people are just gonna walk in on us? So you have a lot of opportunities here, and this is why you're always gonna be pressing tab. You can play off of this. Oh, I gotta stop. This is such a weird color. For, like, seeing it on a screen. Blue's better. Sitting on this high ground, you can wait for him to walk in. Splash, your team walks back in after it. That's one way you can do it. You can play off this weird off angle here. They walk in, you splash, you walk behind them, and then your team walks in because they're all antied and they're at a disadvantage. If you play all the way back here, it's probably because you have, like, an Ashe Mercy, or you're really just trying to slow down the fight as much as possible, and you're going to play for an aid on the fight here, and you're going to try to wrap around and flank there. But you have to understand, like, okay, they have a Reinhardt. I'm trying to make opportunities. I'm trying to remain assertive. The shield is going to prevent me from doing that, so I need to think about ways that I'm going to get around it.
I remember this feeling.
Never do the same play twice, but if something is working and ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're playing horizontal and your Ryan's being really aggressive and forcing their Ryan to drop the shield, you can still play horizontal. Most Silver Reinhardts don't know that that's their job. So, okay, yep, you're playing here. Your team is playing a good off angle. That's how you break up a Ryan push on Eichenwald. You have to split their push, their attention. Problem is you have to do it very quickly. So right there, yep, Reinhardt should have gotten antsy there. You just have to be a little quicker on it. Don't be so scared. Trust yourself. But overall, this is not silver level gameplay. I'd give this at least plat. Like you're definitely getting a lot better at this game. You might just have to play the game more. What are your teammates doing there? Like, you can't stop that. Honestly, now that I'm down 1 into this fight, I would be looking to nano the Genji when he gets back and just trying to like retake the point. Is kind of where I'm thinking of where my nano's getting allocated. Not your job. Just get out of there. Especially if people are starting to push the aggression. Not the worst nano ever, honestly. I didn't expect your team to actually do this right, but honestly, a damage boosted blade does the trick. And if you wanted to just nano the Rhine there to win the fight, that's totally fine. Because you still won the fight and you didn't use nano blade. So, honestly, that's a good nano. That's a good call. That was good. That was solid.
60 seconds remaining.
Your hard scope and open angle is a little bit too much. Like, yes, you should be doing damage, but the higher level, the higher you go, understand that they're going to start, like, pressuring you off of that. But the fact that you're looking for damage, you actually kill a Ramantra there, and you just win the fight for your team. Because of this, your Rhine might want to push up, so you rotate forward. Yes, this is very good. Oh, damn. You did try to go for it, honestly. You tried to anti the Rhine pin. You picked up the refrag. Oh, you're going to kill yourself for this, but you kind of have to be aggressive right now. It's now or never. You can take the 1v1 with her. Okay, yeah. Honestly, dude, you played a near perfect game of Overwatch for yourself right there, especially for your level. Like, that was near perfect. I honestly don't want to look at it because that's a good model. There's just mechanical improvements that you need to get better at. I think last fight, you can play for these really aggressive plays, especially if your Reinhardt's looking to press forward. Like, you kind of have to react with him. I think that might have been able to help you if you didn't stick to this position the whole game and maybe played here. You'd have a better angle to heal or here. But, dude, like, I don't want to give you any advice because, quite frankly, I can't complain about that level of play. Like, that's pretty... like, the thought was there. It was deliberate. Your movement was deliberate. The way you were playing was deliberate. I can't complain about that. Like, that was solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't get much better as a silver player than that. Like, if this was a guess the SR, I probably wouldn't be guessing silver. I'd probably be guessing maybe, like, plat or diamond. Just based on, like, the people you were surrounded by and how good you were playing. Like, I think you just need to play the game more. I'll be honest. Like, keep a solid mental. If you lose 2 in a row, stop playing. You know, the usual. Just play the game more. You know, like, this was good. I don't think it was like Overwatch League, but it was good. So, if that is the conclusion of the free VODs today, awesome. I'm glad that you guys had a good time. And you maybe learned some things today. I mean, I hope you guys learned some things today. We had a lot of people come in and just kind of chill with us, so that's awesome. Again, let me just say a little bit more about this. Next Friday will be the okay. Well, so we'll have a free VOD Friday next Friday, and then on Saturday. Okay, we'll have a free VOD on next Friday. On Saturday is when I'm going to leave for the beach, so I'm going to not be able to do a free VOD Friday, not the next Friday, but the Friday after, which I'm pretty sure is the 1st of July. It would make sense if it was the 1st of July. It probably is. So that week we will not have a free VOD Friday. I will make sure that we have an announcement, and I'll make sure that we talk about that next Friday. But honestly, just keep improving, guys. Again, every single week, a lot of you guys that are like diamond below, heck, even masters below, it's all about being more assertive. It's all about finding ways to get more aggressive value, but not killing yourself for it. Like, yes, it's a lot about damage, but you also have to understand the big picture here. Like, at the end of the day, you are a support. You do have a lot of healing. You do need to sometimes use your team and like help them, support them to be more aggressive too. It's not about healing. It's always about support. Think about it, like, how am I supporting my team? How do I best support my team? Sometimes that's through aggressive value. Sometimes that's through defensive healing capabilities to support their 1v1. A lot of it's support for a reason, right? It's support for a reason. In every single game, it's never called healer. It's always called support. It'll be the 30th of June. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that. 30th of June, there will be no free VOD Friday. Are you sure it's the 30th of June? Not next. Oh, yes, it is, because it's the 23rd. The 24th is when we're leaving. Yes, okay, it's the 30th of June. So the 30th of June, we will not have a free VOD Friday. But that concludes today's free VOD Friday. YouTube, I'm going to end your stream first. If you guys want to hear what I have to say about the whole PvE drama, come over to the Twitch. It's in the description. But if you're not interested in that, you know what? I appreciate you guys coming out and learning. Maybe we'll get some more content whenever I come back from the beach and I don't have summer classes. Maybe I'll stream a little bit more and just do more variety stuff too. But be on the lookout for all that. I hope to see you guys on YouTube next free VOD Friday. But I'm going to end the stream for y'all. Bye, YouTube. Thank you for watching.